First off, imagine the future. A dark, endless void, many thousands of years to come. A never-ending war fought between numerous factions across thousands of worlds without regards for life and prosperity. Within this waste of slaughter and battle, we find the one originating the tale. A thousand sun. Once a human being, now only charred remains, a soul imprisoned within a suit of armor, a mindless automaton. Strong, quick, unwavering and obedient beyond death, a perfect slave and soldier. A thousand sun does as he is bidden, fights where he is led, follows his order, finding nothing of value in his life, his existence having no worth beyond the fulfilling of commands. A machine he is, through and through. And thus, to another battlefield we go. This particular son, among with his brothers, following their master's command, upon a sieged world under the jurisdiction of the enemy. The sun fights, kills, tears, and cleaves without mercy and without respite, for neither are needed for someone like him. However, as perhaps a laughing deity would have it, this particular son was cut off from his unit, the world charred and left lifeless. He had been abandoned, left behind like the dead weight he was. Without a master to give him orders, the son wanders aimlessly through the burned ruins of a torn civilization, towns filled with bloody carcasses. However, within this charnel corpse of a world, he finds something new. He finds a soul, so very like his own, in a way. A young child, a girl, wounded and near death, barely hidden beneath the ash that had once been her home, having lost everything she held dear. For the first time in the many thousands of years of its obedient existence, the son feels something new. He feels pity. He is strong, this son. Strong enough to guard her against the darkness that had befallen this world. Demonic creatures roaming the streets, faceless horrors creeping through the alleyways. He cares for her as she recovers from her injuries, and even despite his inability to communicate, she slowly realizes that he is genuine, that he means her no harm, that there is no underlying fiendish plot. Gradually, his silent guard and care was returned. And so, together, they build an island of joy in a sea of horror. They find something that could be called happiness, even love. And it seemed as if they had escaped this horror of this rotten galaxy, escaped the endless war and the laughter of bursting gods. For a time. For there was one flaw in their love. The son was ageless. The girl was not. The girl grows to a woman. The woman grows old. Finally, after decades together, time claims what cannot be denied. She dies, peacefully. Her last words, "I love you so." Her soul rejoins the endless void, after a life better than many in this dark place. And the son must go on, alone, with only the memory of his time of joy, tainted now by the agony of losing that which he loved. The son must go on, forever. In his mind's eye, he sees the future set out for him. Nothing but a barren path stretching into the ages. With the passive resolve of an automaton, the son rebels. He is silent, as he had always been. Nothing announced to herald his silent revolt. The fingers of his gauntlets, fearful the seals of his armor, fused shut for 10,000 years. They won't open. His armor had become a coffin, what remains of a man buried inside held only alive to obey and fight for all of time. But he is strong, this son. Strong enough for his fingers to constrict around his neck, the air-tight seals buckling and snapping. The strength that had made him invaluable as a slave now setting him free. The thousandth son removes his helmet and stares up at the stars with his own eyes for the first time in 10 millennia. Only that his eyes had long since turned to dust. Without the lenses of his helmet to filter the world for him, he only sees the endless void. The winds of chaos, there where the souls of the dead were feasted upon by horrifying abominations. But upon them, he sees something else. A delicate, luminous wisp of a soul, its warmth and decades of quiet contentment so unpalatable to the monstrosities of the void that the fierce predators flow around it like oil and water. And the thousandth son knows it is her. The armor clatters to the ground, and with an inaudible sigh, the dust within is carried away upon the winds.